ActionSA has expressed confidence that the coalition government in Tshwane will emerge victorious in the mayoral race. The party's national chairperson, Michael Beaumont, says the coalition has enough numbers to support its candidate, Cilliers Brink. For the latest on the story, we're joined by our reporter, Mbali Thethani, who is at the City Council. Mbali, perhaps let's just start with the drama that we saw unfolding that has led us to this point. A quick recap.
Well, that's certainly right, Dudu. Of course, as expected, we saw council get underway this morning at around 10 o'clock. But shortly after that, we then saw members from the opposition benches then calling for a 2-hour caucus break. And of course, the councillors here are then expected to resume and come back here at 12:30. And this is how council works lately. And we've seen this in many other meetings where they continue to delay proceedings and continue to delay the vote. And then we end up seeing a voting process is only happening late at night. But coming into this meeting, of course, so we also then spoke to Michael Beaumont from ActionSA in terms of their expectations. They are saying that they have the majority. We also saw ActionSA finally then seeing those 3 councillors being installed this morning. And of course, they are sitting comfortably on a majority of 109 votes. And he says that last night they met as the multi-party coalition and they are expecting a victory this morning. Let's take a listen to what he had to say earlier on.
Well, you know, there are no guarantees in our line of work. What we can say, though, is that the parties are united. We met again as a coalition last night. We've discussed our plans and the manner in which we plan to account for our votes today. And we're very confident that we will produce 109 votes today, which is the majority required to install a mayor. The coalition stands behind Cilliers Brink as the candidate for mayor. And I think right now we see the events as the last 3 weeks as a major impact on service delivery in the city of Tshwane, and we need to get service delivery back in front of the agenda again.
Well, Dudu, of course, councillors are now expected to come back into the council chamber, and most likely we will then see this voting get underway. But first we know that they will begin to have nominations, and of course, coming from the multi-party coalition, they are still sticking with the name of Cilliers Brink, and this is at the same time where we know that the opposition still faces issues when it comes to the COPE councillor. We also know that COPE itself has internal factions where some are saying that, of course, the one that they have selected should be installed today, and others in COPE continue to reject that name of Sifanyatso, and they are saying that they don't want him to be a councillor here today. And you'd also remember that the ANC and the EFF had agreed that their person would be coming from the minority parties, and of course they had initially selected COPE, so it would be quite interesting to see if whether, because they have been discussing whether it should be a PAC member or a COPE member, but because of these internal battles that COPE continues to face, it'll be very interesting to see which member the members of the opposition will be rallying behind when they bring forward their nominations in this council.
Yeah, indeed. Mbali Thethani, thank you very much for that update. We'll touch base with you a little bit later on.